Durban residents and political activists are taking to the streets of Umhlanga today, echoing support for Palestinians as the war in the Middle East rages on. Newzroom Afrika's Karinda Jagmohan joins us now. Good afternoon to you, Karinda. What's the atmosphere like there?
Good afternoon. Well, certainly messages of support for Palestine, and you can see here as one activist, just in the representation she has through this walk, gives off a chilling message and a thought of what is happening right now as the war in the Middle East rages on. Sadia Adams, thank you so much for speaking to us. Just talk to me about the message you're sending.
I'm here to remind everyone why we're here. I'm here to represent the hundreds of children that have been massacred in Gaza. The world needs to see. The world needs to see why we're here. The world needs to show up for Palestine. The world needs to come together and show up for Palestine and be reminded that this is what the Israelis are doing. The UN is saying that it's laws that they're breaking, but no one's doing anything about it. So people need to be reminded that the children are dying. The children are being blown to pieces. This is a body that's still intact. People are walking with their children in bags, their body parts in bags. People need to be reminded of this. Women and children are being murdered brutally. The world needs to change. We need to see a change in the world. We need to see the Palestinian people come together for Palestine and make a difference.
Thank you very much, Sadia, for speaking to us. You just take a look at what she carries is a representation of the many children we know who have died during this time. There are many activists who have joined here, ANC activists, as you see Becky Mtolo as well, joining this. So maybe let's also just have a quick word with him. Mr. Mtolo, just tell us about why it was important for you to join this march.
No, it's important because as the African National Congress, who's also the leader of government in South Africa, we are known of supporting justice and fighting against injustice wherever it manifests at the head. We are happy as African National Congress that South Africans in their majority from all walks of life are condemning apartheid state Israel. They are there to support justice. We say Israel must desist what it's doing. We too, because as South Africans, we know how bad and how painful apartheid is. And during our struggle, the Palestinian people stood with us. They supported our struggle to the heat, as Nelson Mandela once said. Then it is our time now to support the Palestinian people, to mobilize every South African from across religious lines, from across cultural lines, from across racial lines, to support and stand for justice.
So if you just take a look at around us, you see the number of people, about 1,000 people who are going around the mall here, who are joining that call, sending a message about the atrocities that have happened in Gaza as well. But they say that this must be a peaceful march as well. They've urged that there shouldn't be any burning of flags, there shouldn't be any carrying of firearms. Essentially, it's slogans, as you're hearing, being shouted through this area, saying that people must also carry the message as well. So I just want to quickly try and bring in one of the activists here, just as he is here. So let me just try and maybe get a word with him.
From the river to the sea, Palestine will be free. From the river, Palestine, free, free.
These are the messages that are being shouted today as you hear. An important march through Durban, and this is not the only march that's going to happen in KZN. Let me just bring you in, sir, while you are
drink a bit of water if you can, get into the shade if you need to.
Tell us about the importance
Forward
of
we shall march.
This march today.
Forward we shall march. Forward we shall march for a free, free Palestine.
Tell us about the importance of the march today.
I think it is about expressing solidarity with the people of Palestine, the people of Gaza in particular, but I guess for all oppressed peoples of the world. The struggle is exactly the same. Powerful states feel they're above international law. Multilateral institutions can't have their way. And like the Zionist state of Israel, it is completely disregarding international law, resolutions of the United Nations Security Council. It is disregarding human rights law. And I think what we want to do here in the southern tip of Africa is say to people of the world that this is not acceptable, that we need justice to prevail, and we need states and countries to follow international law. Otherwise, it's an uncivilized order in the world.
Right now, there stands a crisis where there's no humanitarian aid or very little humanitarian aid being brought to the people that are suffering. How can ordinary South Africans help, maybe just in terms of lending their voice?
I think that as South Africans, this is very personal for us. Having lived a life under apartheid, having fought and defeated apartheid in this country, I think we need to show solidarity in a very direct way. And whatever that means, at the least register protest. At the least we should register protest because we know what it is to be under oppression and apartheid in this country. So this is not an academic issue for us. It's a very real issue for South Africans.
Thank you very much for speaking to us, sir. Well, there you have it, more protesters around us as well, with a very important message saying justice for Palestine. We'll keep you updated over the course of the next hour as this march continues throughout Umhlanga. Many young people as well joining this, what they say is a peaceful walk through this area to say, well, there needs to be more voices from South Africa calling out the injustices they say that is occurring in the Middle East. And as you see here, for assistance as well, a call for humanitarian aid to get to the people, and that is what especially young people are calling for here.
Karinda, Jagmohan, thank you for that update.